If you want to know the truth about becoming a food courier, this is the video for you. So I'm in my 7th week as a food courier, as a side hustle. I did my homework. I looked at a ton of videos. I did some research, read a bunch of stuff. A lot of it is lies. A lot of it might be stretching the truth, and some of it is the truth. So I'm here to unravel all that for you and give you an idea of what it's like, truthfully, as being a brand new courier, what to expect, your ups, your downs, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and give you some insight, some truthful insight from my perspective as a brand new courier delivering food. So let's get right into it. Now, first thing I want you to do is hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to continue to make these videos as I learn more along the way. And I'm going to share my ideas and my strategies and the good and bad that I encounter along the way as a food courier for as long as I decide to do it. And again, this is a side hustle for me. I was looking for something that I can do on my own time, make a few bucks extra, and move on. And again, I did my research. I looked at how much do you get paid by hour? What's what's the average pay for doing these services? And after all that, well, let's see how it pans out. So first thing I did was I tried to sign up with DoorDash, but they were completely full. They said they had no openings for me in my area, so I went on a wait list. I did the same thing with Grubhub. I'm still on the wait list. Here we are in week number 7 of deliveries, and still on the wait list for Grubhub, so I can't really speak anything about Grubhub, but I could tell you that I did sign up with Uber Eats, and that was the first thing that I did, and I still do. And then all of a sudden I get a notification that there was an opening for DoorDash, so I added DoorDash on, so I do both. And let's get into how it's working out for me and some of the things I learned along the way. Again, I'm going to share my experiences with you guys, so hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get the notifications, and follow me here for updates as I continue to work this market. So the first thing is I signed up with Uber Eats, and I will tell you this, at least in my area, it seems like Uber Eats is most popular. When I turn on the go button, that thing sometimes goes and goes and goes. And if you don't shut it off, it can be quite annoying because sometimes it just continues to go. And the problem with Uber Eats, as I see it, is that sometimes you don't get paid that much. And the problem is they give you expected payments. And when they give you the expected payments, that's not always the payment you get, because it's largely counts on the tip in most cases. And one other thing with Uber Eats, they'll go long distances. They'll send you an order offer for like $8 to drive 22 miles. Who the heck is going to drive 22 miles for $8? First of all, unless you're going that way and you just want to pick up a couple bucks because you're going that way anyway, if you are sent 22 miles somewhere, even 12 miles somewhere, and there's no business there for you, what are you going to do? You're going to drive back and forth? If it's 12 miles out and 12 miles back, that's 24 miles for $8 or $10. Definitely not worth it. So that's one thing you got to be careful of. And let me give you an example of what happened to me with Uber when I first started. I was at the car wash. I'm sitting in there, I'm going through, and I'm right in front of a Walmart. The ding dings, ding, ding, ding. And it comes through and it says, pick up at Walmart, deliver about 2 miles away. And it was like a $15 expected delivery. I said, sounds easy enough. It's 2 miles away. You drive up, I drive through. They put the packages in my car. I drive 2 miles or so away. It's just about 2.5 miles. I get there. Here's the first problem for me. It was a condominium, which isn't a problem, but the problem was there's one car driveway and the car's taking up the whole driveway. So I'm going around a car with 15 packages, which 3 of them were cases of water. So anyway, I took the job, I'm not complaining about it, but that's what happened. Now, what happens with Uber is they give you that expected payout, and they don't give you that total until about at least an hour usually afterwards, when the customer finalizes the tip, whether they can decrease it or increase it, whatever it is, they give them an hour. So if I make a delivery at 10 a.m., it's not usually posted with the tip until about 11, maybe 11:30, hour and a half later. So they do, when you immediately drop off, tell you how much Uber's paying. So Uber wound up paying me like $2.50. So the rest of it was all dependent on the tip, which I thought was kind of low. I mean, why would you even allow a minimum of $2.50 to drop off 15 packages to someone? So Anyway, hour goes by, no notification for a tip. 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Here we are, 7 weeks later, never got a tip. So this person got their grocery shopping done, had me drag their packages up with 3 cases of water to their front door, and I wound up getting $2.50 when the expected was around $15. So you have to be careful with that. But on the flip side, about 2 weeks ago, I was on my way home. I was late. I turned on the notification button. I hit the go button for Uber Eats, and there was a package of food to be picked up from an Italian restaurant that's pretty pricey. And they don't tell you what you're getting until you accept the offer. So you don't know what, it could be one item or it could be 50 items. You don't know. But it was a pretty decent size order. So I wound up picking it up, and it was right on my way home. It was like 2 minutes off of the road that I live off of. So I was like, yeah, I'll drop this off. So I dropped it off and spoke to the lady when I dropped off, real nice woman. And then all of a sudden, an hour later, $18.69 tip. So it does pan out on one end. But my big thing is that why should a generous person or somebody that understands that we work for money have to cover for people that just take advantage of that system? So that's my big gripe with Uber, is that there is no guaranteed amount that they give you. I wish they would say you're guaranteed X number of dollars and you could get an extra tip, but it doesn't work that way. So you got to be really careful. And the other thing you got to be careful with Uber is that, they're going to send you places, usually far away. They want to send you like 20, 23 miles for like $10. You have to watch, because you don't want to click on anything like that, because you're not going to make any money. So that's my first bad experience and good experience with Uber Eats. It does work out. I mean, most of the people tip decent, but there is the opportunity for somebody just not to tip you or tip you poorly with Uber, no matter how good the service was, no matter how fast you got it there, no matter how nice you were if you met them in person. Some people just take advantage of that system. So I did get on to DoorDash, and DoorDash, they have a system where they have a guaranteed payment, including the tip, and the customer can always add on to that tip. So you know ahead of time, you're guaranteed to what you're getting. Biggest problem I find with with DoorDash is this. I'm not going to deliver a order 12 miles away for $4. So what they do is they send you these orders that are like 12, 15 miles away. So you're driving 12 miles there and 12 miles back for $4 or $5. It just doesn't make sense. Of course, you can decline them, but here's the problem with the decline part. What their system is, they give you higher paying jobs if you accept 50% or more of your deliveries. So you got to be careful. At the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing, and I kept clicking the decline button on everything, because I was just looking at it. I wasn't even really trying to get any business. I was looking at what I can get and what was available just to see how it worked. And I declined a whole bunch of things because I wasn't really trying to get any business. And then all of a sudden I figured this out, that if you decline less than 50%, you're not going to get higher paying orders. So you have to make sure you keep above that. And the key is you want to stay over 70%, because when you get into the 70%, you become a priority. So you got to keep your ratings up. I think it's more than 4.5. I think that's what it is. And you want to keep your acceptance to plus 70 or above. Obviously, you could go down to 50, but when you hit that 70 mark or above, you get priority over other drivers. So that's a real good feature. But the problem with that is this. Like I said, they throw in all these junk deliveries that no one wants to do, and you decline. So maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had like 10 orders, and out of 10, 8 of them were ridiculously far for no money. So I hit decline. And what happened was my rating dropped below to 70%, and it got down to like 60. And then here's the other problem I had. I couldn't get it back up. So I said the next day, I'm going to just take a bunch of them in a row. It doesn't matter where they are. I just want to get above 70 so I get higher paying orders and get priority. So I took like 10 orders in a row, and it went up like 3 points. So I went from like 63 to like 66 that day. But then as soon as I declined one, it went down 1 point. So it's a really messed up system. But if you want to do it, you have to play the game with them and figure that out. So those are a couple of pointers that I could tell you right now. And I'm going to give you some more pointers. So what we want you to do is subscribe below. And I'm going to show you some other things that I've done, some tips, tricks, and some other things that you can do to help you make more money. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, hit the bell, and give it a thumbs up on the video. I'll be back on the next one. Hey, stay safe out there. Have a good day.